welcome to another episode of the Black Guy Who Tips podcast. I'm your host, Rod, joined as always by my co-host,
Karen.
And we are live on a Sunday afternoon, ready to give you some podcasting. Took a little bit of time off, a little week to recharge our batteries, refresh ourselves, you know how it is. We have been working hard throughout the entire election cycle without really taking any breaks, which that's not what I'm into. You can find us everywhere you find podcasts. Just search The Black Guy Who Tips. We have a couple show keeping notes I just want to put up there. A little housekeeping for everybody that's a big fan of the show. Couple things going on. The first one is Christmas cards. Holiday cards. We're gonna do it again. We're gonna send y'all holiday cards, but of course the condition is you email us your mailing address in the correct format.
I
not one sentence, not all run-ons, no paste spaces. I just want to copy and paste it onto an envelope. Sticker.
And if you don't know, it's one of those things where you can search online, particularly if you're outside of the United States, but it's nobody name, address, and a P.O. box or apartment followed by the state, the city, state, and zip code.
Yeah, just look it up, Google it. It's not just one sentence. Some of y'all do that, and it's not that I am gonna be a dick and be like, I'm not sending it to you. I'm just saying, be a nice person and help me out, and I'll help you out.
Because it speeds the process.
It just makes the process a lot faster if I don't have to go in there and add punctuation and spaces and stuff. So you can email us. The blackguywhotips@gmail is the bottom. At the bottom of the show notes in every episode. We typically just send people, a nice little card to thank you for being a listener and stuff. When we run out, we run out. I'll probably order about 100 or so. And if we get over that, then, it might be too many people. We might not be able to, but, I think 100's gotten it done in the past.
First come, first serve.
Yeah, first come, first serve. So make sure y'all do that. We want to, we like doing this. It's a fun little tradition that we started, and we've been doing it for years now, and it warms our hearts. The second thing is, speaking of warming our hearts, warm our pocketbook. Okay, but with that I mean it is Black Friday. It's African American Friday sale. It's the Black Friday Who Tips sale, the annual sale that we do. What it is this: typically a subscription for a year of our premium behind the paywall content is $150, right? And we work hard for it. We're more prolific than anybody else's premium stuff that I would guess, by hours and by just episodes. And we earn that money, but it also is what keeps our podcast Black, independent,
the things that y'all love,
ourselves, able to do what we want to do, talk as long as we want to talk, able to, honestly, it's what enables us to be able to sign a deal with the Inflection Network and not be like, man, if this doesn't work, we're gonna be out here shining shoes, So anyway, I'll put the link in the show notes. We'll make a separate episode post about it as well. I also emailed everybody who already signed up for this last year, because the deal renews.
Yeah.
Through PayPal, the deal will renew. So if you signed up last year and you haven't canceled it, you don't need to re-sign up. Okay, this isn't like some type of weird grift. We're not trying to get multiple monies out of y'all. Just if you want to stay in, stay in. If you don't, go to your PayPal account and cancel it. That's fine too. We definitely understand all that.
Right.
But yeah, you can do that. And also email me if you have any questions. You should be able to check your PayPal and see if you're renewed, when it renews, all that stuff. The price is the same. It's $100 now. So it's $100, $8.33 a month to get behind the paywall and get Balls Deep Sports, sport movie reviews, the Nerd Off, pregame, there's just so much stuff back there, honestly.
Yeah, and there's several shows that we record live for just specifically for the premium people. So for those of you that's been kind of debating on going premium, this is a great time to get the whole year at a discounted rate.
Yeah, when we record Balls Deep Sports, the pregame, nerd off. We go live. There's a chat room. There's a Crowdcast. It's a fun time. It's very interactive. So get behind the paywall. We've given you guys some glimpses behind the paywall before. But yeah, so make sure you guys sign up for that. And if you have questions, email me, theblackouttips@gmail. If you have issues where you like, I can't use PayPal, email me, theblackouttips@gmail.com. I've already talked to one person already about like, okay, well, here's what we're gonna do. So yeah, there's other ways to do it: Venmo, Cash App, Zelle, a bunch of stuff. So that is most of the housekeeping really for that stuff. The holiday card addresses and the Black Friday Who Tips sale is back for 2024, and it ends December the 6th at midnight. Okay, I know some of y'all like to wait till the last second. Some of y'all like to wait till like a minute after midnight. I don't know what's up with you weirdos, but y'all like to do that. I'm just letting you know. That's when it cuts off. It's pre-programmed.
The program is going to be like, no more.
I always get some email or something from somebody 3 weeks later like, hey, man, I know it's 2025, but what's up with that Black Friday sale? Come on, man. The window open long as hell. This ain't even really Black Friday. It's like the 17th. You got so much time to do this, so make sure y'all do that.
About 3 whole weeks.
All right, let's get into the show stuff. I get. Do you have any banter?
I do.
Okay. All right. Let me pull up the banter music. Sorry, everybody. I wasn't prepared for this. Here we go. Do you have any banter? Talk to me. Do you have any banter? Talk to me. Do you have any banter? 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 Do you have any banter?
I do.
Talk to me. Banter. Talk to me. Do you have any banter?
I do.
Banter.
I do.
Banter. All right, Karen, go ahead.
My first thing is, I talked about this before, but I have very small ear canals, and so because of that, earwax has a tendency to just kind of clog my ears up, and it's nothing like I can hear and things like that, but it's just a bunch of damn earwax. So I've made it a part of my annual duty, because like the older I've been getting, the more diligent I have been on self-care. I make sure I get my mammogram every month. I make sure I get my annual every month. I make sure every year. Every year. I make sure I get my eyes checked every year. And normally when the doctor checks my ears, you know, they take their little thing. She always tell me it's earwax. She cleans it, but she can't actually clean it like the people that specify that are specifically, that's their job. So I just put that on the things, you know, to do yearly too. And I went this time, and it was really neat. I've had my ears cleaned out several different ways, but I've had it, you know, them dig utensils. I've had, you know, water flush, but she actually vacuum cleaned my ears out. I mean, it's probably not vacuum clean, you know, the technical term for it, but that's how I felt when she hit my ears. All I heard was some going, and it was just sucking out the earwax in my ears, and she would just kept going down there several different times. It was a really, really neat experience. And so it feels good to have your ears clean and things like that. And also, as you get older, your hearing might differ. And so this gives a professional a chance to look at my ears, just like a look at my eyes. So, because I want to find out what's going wrong ahead of time. You know, I love my family, but, you know, a lot of old black folks wait till they're on their deathbed and they be like, well, I guess I go, bitch, no, insurance too high. No, I'm going. Find out, tell me in advance so we can fix it now. So I just thought that was a really, really, just a neat, a different experience of getting my ears cleaned. You got anything, or is it just all me?
Only thing I really wrote down was that they have these new commercials for artificial intelligence on phones, and it's all like one of them has Bella Ramsey in it. She's the girl from The Last of Us, and Little Lady Mormont on Game of Thrones. Mm-hmm. And she's talking to her agent in this commercial. She's playing herself, you know. So she's talking to her agent. Her agent sent over an email with a script attached. She didn't read the script. She was supposed to read the script. They're having lunch about the script. And then she's like, AI, can you summarize it for me? It's like, it is a romance with this, and this. And then she pretends to know that it's like what the script is about. There's another one where a woman, like her daughter is talking to her husband, like the woman's husband. Like, so I guess their daughter is talking to her dad. Right?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And so the wife, the older wife, is watching the daughter give the dad a birthday gift. And she's like, oh shit, I'm the mom and I'm the wife and I fucking forgot that my husband's birthday. So then she like uses AI to create a video montage with a sentimental song of a bunch of pictures of him and his daughter and them together, and it's like, this is the gift I gave you, and sends it. And then it walks away and it's like, oh wow, look at AI, saved the day. And I just gotta say, both of these commercials just make the people look like uncaring assholes who don't give a fuck about friends, family, and work. That's like, I mean, maybe that is the pitch. Maybe that is how people feel. Maybe all of y'all are fucking assholes and y'all are gonna go buy this shit and be like, well, I got to get the phone to make it so that I actually don't ever have to give a fuck about a person again. But those were both not appealing to me. It was more like a loss of society to watch those commercials. Like, is this what the fuck we've become? Is you just gonna artificial intelligence your way out of human connection? That's some bullshit if you're into that.
And also, it's one of those things, I think, for particularly in America, it's go, 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 go. So people are consistently going. They don't really take time off. We have the least amount of vacation days. We leave the least amount of vacation days on the table for the amount of time we have just as a populace. So people are already always busy and they always are going. And so this right here is like, you busy? You know you're super busy. You know you're doing some shit. Here's something so you don't have to focus on these things.
Oh, I hear what you're trying to say. But these are for both examples are shit you supposed to care about. Like, it's not.
I understand
like
that, yes.
Like if it was like automating some shit you could give a fuck about. Like, it was like, hey, we will automatically unsubscribe you from every political text message you get. You don't got to do nothing. You open up your fucking phone. It's like, take me the fuck off this list. Oh, thank you, Siri. You took care of that for your boy. That's fine. But this shit is like, oh, your kid is having a recital. You couldn't be bothered to show up.
You couldn't even think about it or consider it.
Here's an AI response that makes it sound like you went to the recital and the right things to say to him. That's such bullshit if that's a selling point. And it marks a decline societally if that is a way to sell you anything.
Yeah. Not that I understand, like, for things that are like monotonous and things like that, I understand. But it's one of those things where, yes, there's some things you either just need to be like, my bad, I forgot, or either just take the time and the effort and just do it the right way. But
I'm not trying to give advice. I'm just saying the fucking commercials suck. That's it. It had to be some better shit y'all could have came up with AI to do.
Yes.
Both of those examples are like, all it is you're a horrible person. Bella Ramsey is a horrible person that doesn't even read the fucking scripts her agent does, but then accepts the lunch and then lies to the agent like she read the bullshit. That's not good. Bella Ramsey is a dickhead. That wife is a piece of shit. That's what the ad is for. The ad is I'm a bad person. Those are bad ads.
I don't want to take the extra effort. Fuck it.
What's next? They gonna have an ad where it's like, you cheated on your wife, but you need an alibi.
They're gonna have an alibi call on your behalf.
Yeah, and then like it ends with this tagline from a song. It's like, I'm a genius or whatever. I'm like, no, you're a piece of shit. You're not a good person. Don't sell me this bullshit. Who the fuck does this? This is gonna, oh no, the police at the door. They knocked, my wife called her because I was beating on her. Help me, AI. And it's like, oh, just tell them that she hit you first. I'm a genius. Like, why is that a commercial? How do I notify everybody I haven't been using protection and everybody's got herpes that had sex with me last year? oh, shoot this group email text to everybody. I'm a genius. Some bullshit. And I don't like it. And I don't support it. And I won't be using that shit.
Sound like you are taking this as a personal slight.
It is personal.
Yes.
Because we should all take it personal.
Yes.
What is it saying about us? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, as a society, yes. What is it saying about
It's not
us?
some little commercial either. It's like Apple or some shit. What the fuck are you saying about your people that buy your products? We know y'all don't give a fuck about your
family and your
families
loved ones.
and your jobs and your loved ones and your artistic endeavors. Just make it up. Fuck them. Use AI.
AI to the rescue. That's hilarious. My next random thought is I was coming home and I was going across a bridge and it's 2 lanes and it's like space on the side for a third lane, but it's not actually a third lane. It's like the side, you know, like I don't know what you call it, the boundary of the road. And so all of a sudden, you know, 2 cars, I was up front, a car was beside me. Then all of a sudden a car rolled up beside that third car, and I was thinking there is not a third lane, but like once you go across the bridge, it does kind of pick up and turn into another lane because people are kind of coming up off the highway, and they created another lane on the other side of the highway. But as you go across the bridge, it's literally only 2 lanes. And all of a sudden 3 cars was going across the street, and I slowed down because I was like, are they gonna merge into the car beside me? Like, I don't know what was happening. I'm just glad everybody made it across the street safely, but it was just wild how this person decided they was gonna make themselves a lane. It was just weird.
Okay.
And I also learned that dark soy sauce and black soy sauce is the same. I did not know that. Me and Roger was looking for dark soy sauce, and the lady was like, it's black. I was like, black. I was like, oh, that must be the word that y'all use in the place of it. So I learned that. That's a new thing that I learned.
What's up with these? These are just more like observations. So
yes,
on the highway, somebody just went around and you was like, I'm writing this down. We got to discuss this. Okay. All right.
Yeah, these is my random thoughts. You
they are random. Listen, you understood the assignment.
Yes,
I'm just trying to
did.
follow. You know, normally I try to think of like a funny joke or anecdote or something we could like riff off of. This is more just like, man, I was riding down the street.
Yes.
And a car it made a right with no light on. What's up with that?
What's up with that, nigga shit? It was random to me. I didn't expect it to be 3 lanes going across this goddamn bridge. It was wild and random. So I thought I would share my random experience with y'all.
It is random. No, you understood the assignment. I mean, I didn't say jokes.
You ain't say you ain't say they had to make connections here.
No, they don't have connections.
No, they don't at all.
I just know some motherfucker somewhere is looking at my face like, Rod just want her to shut up, and I'm like, no, I just don't know where to hop into this double dutch. She's doing a double dutch that I don't even know. I don't know the
double dutch
words.
to my own beat.
This is all new to me. We didn't prepare this. It's not rehearsed. This isn't, Miss Mary and Mac. She's just doing some shit that she made up, and I'm just over here trying to see if I can figure something out to contribute that doesn't like detract from what you're saying. So, third lane on the bridge. And what was the next one?
The black and dark soy sauce.
Black.
The difference between them. Because me and Ryan.
Why are you why do you think there's a difference though?
Because when I asked the lady, I was like, do y'all have dark soy sauce? And so I was looking for the words dark soy sauce because that's what I thought was going to be on the label. And when she came back there, she was like, this one. I was like, oh, black. So black and dark mean the same thing.
Yeah, it's the opposite of a difference. It's the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I didn't mean difference. It's the same, but I didn't realize the words were kind of interchangeable.
Yeah.
Which threw me off. So we was going up and down the lane, just a looking, and I guess she saw we was back there looking for a while for it. She was like, let me come back here and help these lost people.
Yeah, I was doing the same thing. We went to like this Asian Vietnamese market because I wanted to. Saw a YouTube commercial about making like this onion or oyster sauce chicken, and I was like, you know what, fuck it, I want to try and make it. You know, I like doing stuff like that. And so I went to go get the ingredients, and they had all the ingredients, but the way the lanes were broke up at the store and the way things are kind of filed, and you know, a lot of stuff was not in English, and so I just couldn't find everything. But I was determined to find as much as I could. And yeah, stuff like dark soy sauce versus black soy sauce, I was like, I don't know. And I'm sitting there staring at it for 5 minutes, and then a lady comes and is just like, that's it. And I'm like, oh, okay, so I guess I was close enough, or it just don't make that big of a difference. Right. Well, she don't give a fuck about my recipe. It's my recipe, and she got bottles to sell. $5.99, nigga, get the fuck out of my store. Right. The thing that bothered me was when I saw the receipt on my bank, you know, because I still balance my checkbook, basically. Mm-hmm. When I saw the receipt on my bank, it said, like, the name of the store and then Oriental. And I was like, is that like a they can say it thing? Because I thought we was off Oriental. I thought we was done saying that one.
Is that the name of the place? Something.
Yeah, I'm sure it's the name of the place, but I'm just saying, like, it was on the receipt. I'm, you know, I didn't even feel comfortable. I was like, oh, I feel.
Should I accept these charges?
Fault. Yeah, it's not my fault. Obviously, you said it yourself, but it's like if I went to a grocery store and it was like, you know, Rod's Ghetto Paradise or whatever on my receipt, I'd be like, are we still using that? Is that a thing we're saying? We're not, that's a common parlance. I didn't see it on the sign on the store door. It's weird that it's on the receipt. Now hopefully nobody is scanning my transactions.
Yeah, nobody going down your bank statement going,
Yeah. Okay,
Rod, what is you into? No problem.
I'm just trying to come up with ways to contribute to everybody. I don't want anybody looking at my face thinking I don't give a fuck. I actually do care. I'm just trying to figure it out.
Child, I just went through my thoughts and kept it trucking. You know, I
know you would have, but then they would have wrote in and said I'm a horrible husband and I'm secretly abusive. So I'm trying to dodge the charges. Go ahead. What's next?
No problem. And like he said, it's called random thoughts. So I am all over the place. You know, we go to the Hornets game and it's this man who's an usher down low. He's there like every game, and I think he's secretly Santa Claus's cousin because he just.
We are starting to get to know the characters around us. I have to say, sitting down low to me is actually better than sitting up there with the monitors and going to the buffet, and even with the nicer seats, which I did like those nice seats because my knees start hurting if we sit for too long in the bleachers. But it's much better being around people and stuff, and I actually enjoy you know, watching the game with people. People always end up talking to me for some reason, but honestly I don't mind. Like they've never, it's always either about some sports shit or they're being funny. I haven't had any bad interactions. Often it's people from the other teams,
yeah, and
so far they all been pretty good sports about stuff. And so yeah, I've actually been enjoying sitting down there. But you get to know some characters such as Santa Claus, the usher. There's also that black man that whenever that we come in, they always have like a DJ playing old school music. And there's a black man that's like a janitor.
Oh, he know our faces.
He just be over there with his mop and he be dancing. Jamming. He be jamming.
He be like, shout out to the DJ while he's sweeping.
Yeah.
he be having a ball.
He always in the same spot. I don't even know if he's sweeping.
I don't think he sweeps
just standing in that same spot every time. Like, I know it's not a mess over there every time. He just standing by the DJ booth, like, pick up the pieces. Hey.
Yes, and you just see him over there two-stepping with a broom.
Pass the peas like they used to say. Hey, you don't know nothing about this, boy. Y'all ain't old enough to know about this.
That's what he tell us every time we see him. It's fucking hilarious. Yeah. it makes me crack up every single time. And
even the woman that is the usher for our section, she knows us now. Mostly because of Karen, I'm sure, but she knows us now. She don't even ask to look at our tickets. She just be like, "Oh, I know it's y'all. I'll be showing the tickets. So I'm scared, like something gonna happen. Like I'm gonna get to my seat and then security gonna come and be like, you don't own these seats.
You don't belong here."
But yeah, so it's nice. I'm really enjoying going to these games. It was such a great such a great investment, man. You know, I really like, I know so other people, you know, y'all take vacations, y'all going to France, y'all, you know, whatever it is you into, you know, I'm more happy for you. Maybe I'll be doing that one year instead of these tickets. But right now, these tickets are a real godsend and a reprieve to have something to look forward to and some fun to get out the house.
Yeah, you know what, and baby, I really do think this was one of the best purchases, particularly during the full year, because like you said, it gives you an excuse to get out the house, an excuse to kind of break up your monotony, like in your day. It just gives you something to look forward to whenever that time comes, and particularly the game this week because it was like on a Saturday in the afternoon, and so we got to see a lot of kids because normally the games are like later, which is like 6, 7, 7:30. So the games ain't getting out to like 9:30, 10. So you got smaller kids. You ain't trying to drag them out there and have, depending on the age of the kid, trying to get home and get in traffic. It's late school night and all that shit. So it just was just really, really fun to see all the children. And when you have like
and the people that sit around us, like I said, they've been fun. I talked to some Bucks fans yesterday, and then on the other side, there was a dude that was talking about, the Doc Rivers can't coach, and I don't think he could coach. And then when we played the Pacers, and I converted over to the dark side, where I think Tyrese Halliburton is sorry now, and I just kept yelling it every time he had the ball, like, he's sorry, he sucks. And I got some people around me that was in the hive. They was like, I agree that he sucks. And we started talking stuff too. And so it's just been fun. It's been fun. I can't recommend it enough if it's something you're into like that. Well, I can only really recommend it for basketball only because I think football is only 8 games a year.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure you can't really get to know the people around you for the Panthers because we suck.
Right.
So most people are probably selling those tickets
to
other people, so you're not going to be around the same people.
Right, it's going to come
and
every game.
I think the general tenor of football fans is just much worse than NBA fans. Like, NBA fans are typically a little bit more fun, a little bit less racist, a little bit more approachable. You don't have to worry about getting a physical fight at a game all the time. So I can only recommend it for NBA. I haven't done the other sports to know, like, hockey could be cool. I don't know.
Yeah, how they function.
Baseball could be cool, and I don't know. But I can definitely tell you, if you got like a NBA team in your city, it's a good investment.
Yeah, it is. And also about the game last night, it was a little girl behind us. This is why I love the kids. That little girl loved to some Giannis.
Yeah.
Every time Giannis got the ball, no matter what was happening, that baby was like, shoot. I was like, baby, he ain't going to shoot in this situation. She was like, shoot, Giannis. Get him, Giannis.
She thought Giannis was literally listening to her.
Yes.
Like, Giannis was going to look up in the crowd and be like, oh, what'd you say? Okay. The other thing that was funny, too, is that about kids that I love is that the kids don't mind just rooting for both teams.
They, in a heartbeat.
They just want to have a fun time at the game.
They were like, somebody scored. Yay.
I really hate that adults lost that, and I blame it on these fucking nerds. These fucking loser-ass Michael Jordan dick-sucking nerds. God damn, you ruined everything. Because it's like... They don't even understand what the point of watching sports is if your team can't win the championship. Like, it's such a loser fucking malcontent, negative ass bitching attitude. I don't give a fuck about a salary at a time like this. I don't give a fuck about how many years a contract is, man. Just, is the game fun to watch or not? I'm not doing statistical analysis of what percentage of the shots are threes versus twos. I'm like, dunk on that nigga or hit that jumper, pass that ball or don't. That's what happens when you're at a game and you're watching the game, for me.
Yes.
I really hate how miserable adults are about sports, because they know every fucking thing and they hate everything, and all their teams are supposed to win championship, but there's no reason to play. They simultaneously hate when their players get injured, but also don't want a player to play a fucking game if, God forbid, the stakes aren't the highest. Like you just not supposed to play a game because it's your fucking job. You get paid a lot of money and you're healthy enough to do it. So why wouldn't you just play all the games you can play? So they're mad when the players are like, when they're like, we're going to sit this guy out because, I mean, listen, our team sucks. Why would anyone want to see this player play even though they're individually great? If they're not playing for a championship, fuck it. which I hate. And then they do the other thing where like someone like Joel Embiid, who's chronically injured, is like, dog, I can't play back-to-back games. I'm always fucked up. Then they get mad at him like, you lazy bitch. Get out there and get to work, slave. It's just misery, misery, misery. And I refuse to let my sports be misery. So that's the thing I like about the Hornets games. That's what I like about going with you, is that it just gets to be a fun time 41 times a year. And that's all I'm really in it for. I wouldn't even watch it on TV if it made me even a little bit miserable.
Agreed. And also, I think with me, when I go to the games, I like to see the other teams because, you know, particularly this year with us going all the games, we go literally get to see everybody. Because before we kind of had to pick and choose, but now we going to get to see everybody. So I'm excited about getting to see everybody this year. And for me, Giannis did a dunk, and I was like, ooh, okay, he on the other team. And that dunk was nasty, and the whole arena erupted. It didn't matter what side you was on, you know, quote unquote.
I mean, that's why you want to be there, so you can see that shit. You're not rooting for it, but if it happened, it's like, glad I got to see it. But go ahead.
Glad I got to see it. Oh, and the last thing, talk about the Hornets game. What's hilarious to me is a lot of people, they don't know or understand the scheme of, and I know a lot of people do this, like going down to like the lower levels just to sit. A lot of people, they don't wait till like the third quarter or possibly the fourth quarter. They like to come down sometimes doing halftime. I was like, that's a terrible time because you know everybody is basically going to get something to eat and coming back. So when these people come back, you're going to be plopped in their seats, you know. And
so have you never done that before?
Yes, I have. But some people, they don't know how to coordinate it right.
Well,
you know?
so there's a lot of moving parts. Okay. What you supposed to do, and I don't know if they just not doing it or they just caught slipping.
Okay.
You sitting in the 200s or wherever. You see some seats down low that nobody sat in for the first half. What you supposed to do is go get them seats at halftime or right after halftime. Sit down there for a little bit. I would not risk the rest of the game, but third quarter, maybe a little bit of the fourth quarter, and then you go back to your seats or you leave. The problem is other people be scoping them seats too. And so sometimes you go down to take 4 seats with you and your homies, but somebody else want to take 2 of them seats with them and they homie. And so you got a weird thing because none of y'all got claimed in them seats, so you would have sat there in the first fucking half, dummy. And you don't want to cause no commotion, because then you got the usher like, hey, now I got to do my fucking job and get you out of here. So I think that's really what's happening. Okay. I don't think it's just that they like don't understand the etiquette. It's just that it's not coordinated. So like everybody ain't got the same, you know, agenda when they come down there.
Right.
So you got people playing musical chairs, but it's definitely funny when people do that stuff.
Yeah, because some dudes did that, and I was like, they was like, excuse me. I was like, oh, y'all can just, I was game. I was like, oh, y'all can just move down one. They went down one. I was like, oh, we good. I was like, long as you move down one, because it was plenty. The whole row was empty.
Yeah, I don't play that shit. So when I came back and they was in our seats, I just went, those are our seats. Now at that point, they got to figure out what they gonna do. I'm not gonna tell you can stay or leave. It ain't up to me. Only thing I want you is out of my seat.
Agreed, and that's what most people do.
Just don't be fucking with me, and then the rest between y'all and God and the usher, dog. So that's it.
That's it for me. Nothing else.
All right, cool. Well, that was our banter. Plenty of news to get into. Let me play some music, and then we'll come right back. Plenty of news to get into. I didn't play the election beat thing because it's like, you know, it's pretty much over. Yes, there's a lot of political news that still sucks.
Yeah, but that part is over. Yes.
So I'll do a little bit at a time. It's gonna be a lot of political blitz. I don't know that I'm gonna get detailed into everything, just for our own sanity and yours listening. I'm sure y'all don't want to have to do this. And also, I think a big part of our job here, and a big part of the Republican plan, is that they want to blitz us, they want to shock us into numbness and apathy, but also they want us to be like pie in the sky. I mean, like the sky is falling, everything is terrible, I feel terrible. Part of this was like a emotional attack on a lot of folks, and they want us constantly panicking, overreacting, full of anxiety, paralyzed by terror and fear.
Right.
They want us to feel those things, and I'm gonna do my damnness to not give in to any of that despair type bullshit.
Agreed.
It is what it is, meaning I'm not gonna avoid reality. I'm not gonna sit up here and blow smoke up your ass, but I'm not one of these people that's turning in my fucking survival card like, well, I guess that's it. I'm dead. Like,
right.
Fuck that shit.
I'm not giving up on my rights and all my freedoms and shit like that. Like, I refuse. And I think when people panic and like you said, they go in all these different directions and nothing gets done. So you're technically just kind of just giving up.
Yeah, we're just gonna keep y'all abreast of the news and monitor the situation. That's all I got for you.
Yes, and I can't speak for nobody else, but I know for me, all jokes aside, I have not, and I don't know when I'm going to go back. And I know I'm going to go back, but I don't know when I'm going to go back. I haven't listened to not one political podcast. I haven't really paid attention to. I haven't listened to anything since the election. Like, I have literally tapped out. Like, literally tapped out. Like, you see, I see things because they kind of come across your thing, but I cannot a deep dive into that. Like, the way my mind mentally functions, I've, like, when I said I was tired and I need a break, I meant that shit. I will come back, but as of right now, probably half the shit Roger's telling me gonna be a surprise because I tapped out.
Yeah, so like I said, I'm not one of these people that's gonna obsess over everything, but I want to keep us abreast of stuff because I think it's a detriment to not know.
Agreed.
To not know at all is just, and it's not gonna protect or help you to not know any of this shit. So we just gonna try to sanitize it, man. I remember we used to do That's Y'all's Man segment during the Trump administration. Maybe we'll bring that back. We never had music for That's Y'all Man, but maybe we'll do that.
Yeah, we do that. Somebody get some music for it.
I'm gonna delete all the like old election news because like I don't give a fuck about Dr. Phil at this point like that. But I want to talk about some other stuff.
Yeah.
Democrat National Committee Chairman Jaime Harrison is not expected to seek renomination. So he'll probably be stepping down from the as DNC chairman. I think it's gonna be interesting because a lot of the reaction from Democrats and leftists and people that vote Democrat, and of course people that are so like woke that they don't vote Democrat because they're just no options good enough. And this happens every time Democrats lose. But there's something here that I think people should stop and take a breath. You lost by 1. You know what I mean? It's like when you lose a Super Bowl by 1 point. Do you break your team up?
Yeah,
like that's it for the team? We done? That was a damning, because to me this is what the Electoral College is designed to do, is to make you feel like you got trounced. Like to make you like, oh, you lost every swing state. Yeah, but if we lost every swing state within the margin of error, if you lost every swing state by, tens of thousands of votes, that's not unrecoverable. That's not a burn this shit to the ground, start all the way over from scratch to me. The only way you truly believe that is if you're like, Democrats should always win in a landslide and any year that they don't is damning. And which is how people treat it, by the way.
Yes, they do. And that's very, very, very dangerous. And these are the things, and I look at people and I'm like, oh, sometimes I look at people, I go, oh, you're not smart. Because it's a difference between, like you saying, you barely crossing the finish line and you was like, well, we just didn't have enough. If we tweak what we have, we can keep going. And then just saying, this is shit, and blow it up. Because every time you blow it up, you have to rebuild. Like, you have to rebuild, which means you're going to have to bring new people in, which means they got to learn the process, which means you have to go through a learning curve. Like, it's a lot of shit that has to happen every time you blow the shit up. It ain't, and then you're going to cry and complain about why ain't nothing get done, because the veterans, the people that knew what the fuck that they were doing, you got rid of their asses, because as far as you was concerned, y'all didn't go in there and just mollywop, so fuck the whole process. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I think, a lot of people giving in to like their fear and their anxieties. And also, for the what it's worth, a lot of people just always had certain gripes with the Democratic Party, and they're just using confirmation bias to say whatever their issue is the issue that the party has.
Right.
Which is why a lot of the analysis is all over the place. A lot of white people are on some, what cost us this election was dealing with all these marginalized issues and activists and think tank groups and stuff. So we don't like that. Y'all want to, like, us trying to say we're including and protecting the rights of trans people and talking about that hurt the party. Us bringing up reparations or help plans to help black men, that hurt the party. Even us bringing up abortion was not as helpful as it's supposed to be, because it hurt people. It hurts. It makes people leave. And it makes people not want to vote. Palestine makes people not want to vote. Stuff like that. So you got those people. Of course, then you have your pro-Palestine people who are like, that's what killed it, is the pro-Palestine. Y'all weren't pro-Palestine enough. Meanwhile, black people and Jewish people are the only real like marginalized groups that showed up for Democrats. So there would have been a trade-off. You would have lost some Jewish vote, but no one wants to talk about that ugly trade-off, which it is. Let me see who else had issues. Oh, then you got the people who think it's about donors and rich people and corporate interest and stuff like that, as if that's not what the other side is completely given into, as if you can completely win the election without that. And most importantly, let's say someone did that, as if that is the reason that all these other people sat out, which I don't know that is. I think that's an issue people have with the Democrats, that they have. It's an issue they have with politics in general, but it's an issue a lot of people only really level at the feet of the Democrats. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, they level it at the Democrats, but they don't have any of the evidence to back up that there's this huge movement of people who are just waiting for some party to be like, we will not accept a single corporate donation. And then all of a sudden, all these people are going to be like, yes, I've been waiting on this my whole life. You know how I sat out every other fucking election before this? Now I'm sitting in. I think it's just pie in the sky, fan casting, and I think what we're ending up with is everyone working backwards from whatever it is they wanted. And a lot of people are just telling on themselves.
Yes, they are.
Like, what you really wanted was, you tired of all this black people shit.
Yes.
You tired of all this fucking woman shit. You tired of all this motherfucking
diversity,
LGBTQ shit. You tired of it, and now here's a chance where everyone's looking at licking their wounds. They're feeling like they got beat in a landslide, and you can go, what if we just stop fucking with these other minorities and stuff? What if we just made it a party of working white working class people, and then the white people will come back and join our coalition, and we won't need these blacks and these women and all that. We won't really need them anymore because we'll have the whites back. To which I have to say, this is why I will always defend Michelle Obama, because this party does not have the stomach to do that. That is going low. That is going low. That is what going low would really look like. Like, everyone thinks going low is just like, I called Trump fat or whatever. You child, grow up. Going low is some shit like, we looked at the trans people and said, I'm sorry, but your rights is very inconvenient because we losing certain people that we think would vote for us, but they get hung up on you having rights. And so we want them Dave Chappelle's, them Joe Rogans, we want them people back. So we not talking about your rights no more.
We not talking about
I'm not saying we're legislating against your rights.
Yeah,
I'm not saying we're legislating for your rights.
Right.
I'm not going to call you out and demagogue you. You can come to the rally, but I will never support you. I will never return a glance. I will never say a single word in my campaign
that's what's
about
getting ready to happen for a lot of people.
And I don't know if it's getting ready to happen. I'm saying that's what some people want this. And their strategy is, if you do this, that will fix the party and you'll get a certain group of people back. Yeah. And this is why I say I go up for Michelle Obama, because you can't outlaw how low the other side is willing to go.
Right.
So you think, oh, if we stop talking about trans groups, those voters will come back. I'm like, if those voters sat out an election where every commercial was Charlemagne the God talking about trans prisoners getting surgery, where Donald Trump was lying and saying they were transitioning your child and you come back home, they don't give a fuck.
Yeah, and that's the part they miss.
They're not coming back.
No, they're not.
And they're not. And if they do give a fuck the other way, where they're like, I hate trans people, you can't out hate the other side.
Cannot hate them.
You're gonna have to write some of these motherfuckers off and find some new group or some new thing, because that's really the math. The math is the math. It's not even a huge difference, honestly. Like, as the numbers come in and the votes are still being counted, your popular vote is gonna end up very close, if not her winning it, but it's gonna be closer than we thought. But it's not Biden, which is the most ever.
Not Biden.
And I have a theory as to why Biden got the most ever. And it's not just that he's a white man. But I was thinking, like, what's the thing that really brings us together? Because, other white men have lost a white man. We've watched Al Gore lose. We've watched CaKes lose. Like, white man. I think about it.
It's the. Can I guess?
Go ahead.
What really brings us together is fucking up the economy and putting us on like the brink of shit. And
yeah, I was gonna say what brings us together. The only thing I've really seen do it is Republicans winning.
Yes, because normally, like I've been here long enough, y'all. This is how it goes. We normally go Democrat. Like, if we have a Democrat, people take shit for granted. This is how it goes. People take shit for granted. Everybody kind of, your rights and shit go up, and all this shit. Everything's good. You vote a Republican in, all of a sudden the military budget goes up, money starts going all these places. You want to lower taxes, like just stupid shit, tariffs, all this shit. All of a sudden the economy's tanks. Like something fucks up and the economy tanks. And then when the economy tanks, that's when white people go, oh shit, y'all fucking up my money, I'm losing my house, whatever it is. Because with Obama, we had the housing collapse and all this shit. Everybody go, oh shit, everybody get scared, everybody want to panic. And then you put a Democrat back in office, and then you go through the same thing again. And normally the thing about Republicans, they've done studies and they always tell us that, hey, if we would just keep putting Democrats in office, we wouldn't have these dips. But because America goes back and forth with the bullshit, and it's all on white people. If white people were consistent with their votes, we wouldn't have this problem.
I'm just saying, it's the shared oppression. It's sad, because it ain't just white people. It ain't just them. That small percentage of marginalized people that went a little bit higher for Trump in 2020, or did that go a little bit higher for Trump in 2024, or those holdouts, they really have to find out. It's not, it shouldn't be this way. I don't prefer it to be this way, but I was just thinking, I had a week to really think about this shit, and I'm like, only time I've really seen America as a coalition come together on the left has been because they let shit get so fucked up under Republicans that they went, oh my God, we're in another war or whatever. Oh my God, we don't have this right we used to have. Oh my God, the economy is bad, as you said. Like, it really is the only thing I've ever, because at the end of the day, people are selfish. We might be at a point where 4 years ago, Trump was so bad, the pandemic thing was so bad, his reaction to it was so bad, his many scandals in office was so bad. I can't really call how much of that was just Trump and how much of that was just like, shit is going bad, someone else come do it, because obviously for a lot of us it was like, Jesus Christ, this is terrible, like Charlottesville and all this shit. But I don't know that moved this group of people that set this election out. No. I don't know that moved this group of people that voted for Joe Biden but didn't vote for Kamala Harris. I don't know what moved them for sure. I'm not arrogant enough to assign one single thing to all of them. The only thing I'm willing to assign to all of them is that something about a black woman was too much for them. Mm-hmm. I don't think Kamala Harris, I mean black woman. She didn't run as black woman. She ran as Kamala Harris, president for everybody. But something about that idea they could not get over. And every analysis since then has been us trying to, wallpaper over that very obvious fucking point into like, what did the Democrats do wrong? Did they really do wrong? Because she polled at the same numbers as Biden. She had turnout very close to Biden. Like, was it she did something wrong, or are we supposed to look the electoral college results and go, this was a landslide, America does not want her? Or can we be honest and be like, America seems to have some issues when it's a black woman at the top of that ticket, but anyway, so I didn't mean to get in that huge tangent, but let's see. Getting rid of some of the old stuff. Get to some. These are probably going to be the stories that are the most eye rollingest. Okay. Mm-hmm. Some in the U.S. farm industry are alarmed by Trump's embrace of RFK Jr. and tariffs. He won farm country by wide margins in this month's election, with rural voters helping fuel his return to the White House. Mm-hmm. But some farmers, economists, analysts, and others in the agriculture industry are voicing alarm over Trump's plans that could disrupt America's $1.5 trillion food industry.
I hope y'all get what y'all wanted, because he can cut y'all funding. He not, particularly if you ain't some of the big boys, he don't give a fuck about these acres of land that you got in Timbuktu nowhere. He don't care about y'all. Y'all get ready to pay and get ready to lose y'all farm, and they gonna take everything away.
Trump moved this past week to put RFK Jr. in charge of the Department of Health and Human Services, which includes the FDA, a nomination that requires confirmation by the U.S. Senate. And the thing that's been floating around is you get all these whisper, like these journalists keep reporting, like, privately Republicans are saying that they will not confirm these choices that Trump is making. Publicly, they're sucking his dick.
Oh yeah.
So I don't actually give a fuck what the private reports are. We saw this happen so many times during his administration, where they was all the quote unquote decent Republicans were constantly privately shocked and outraged and appalled, and then they would go in there and his shit would pass pretty much unanimously. Maybe two holdouts at most. Right. Even many times people hold up as the Republicans who were anti-Trump were voting with him the vast majority of the time.
Agreed. That's why I don't want to hear that. I don't give a fuck about what do you do publicly? What do you do to my face? What you do behind the scenes is irrelevant. If you stand here in front of my face, everybody, all these names y'all seen floating around, them people gonna get up there with no problem. Ain't nobody gonna protest but the Democrats.
One thing I did think was funny though is there's a picture of Trump and his Elon Musk and his sons and shit and RFK Jr. on a plane, and they're on, I guess, Trump Force One or whatever the fuck, and they're eating McDonald's.
That's his favorite food,
right? But RFK Jr. is Mr. Health Guy. He's going to change what the kids eat. He calls that stuff poison, all of this stuff. And so this is the picture of them on the plane together, eating this McDonald's. And RFK Jr. looks like, he's never held McDonald's in his life.
You know what? He looked like the models do in them Hardee's and Junior.
No, he don't. He looks like he's gonna throw up.
I mean, yes, as far as they look like they don't ever eat the shit. He looks like he doesn't eat that shit.
No, those people's bodies look like they don't eat this shit.
Yes.
His fucking face looks disgusting. He looks like the smell of McDonald's makes him want to vomit, but he gotta pretend that he's eating this shit. It's a photo op. It's I don't know, who knows, they probably got, it's like IG, you gotta put underneath it, it's an ad, but you got Mike Johnson on there, Elon Musk, one of them Trump boys, like the sons, Donald Trump, and then And they're all smiling except for RFK Jr., who looks like he just got busted cheating on his girl again. Like, oh, no one's supposed to see me with this McDonald's.
No one's supposed to see me cheating.
And the thing that I think is interesting about this picture is one thing Donald Trump gonna do after you hoe yourself out. He gonna make sure the world know that he know you his bitch.
Yes.
That's what
his
he
motto.
Do. That's what he do.
That's his motto.
It's not that he won't welcome you into the fold and make you a useful idiot, you know. It's not that, unless you black. It's not that. It's that he needs you to know that the world knows you his bitch. Mm-hmm. And that's what making RFK Jr. This is like calling that one guy's wife ugly. Ted Cruz. Mm-hmm. It's like calling his wife ugly and then being like, yeah, you can get in the cabinet with your ugly ass, bitch ass wife, you bitch. Mm-hmm. And everybody's like, Jesus, you still working for him? It's like, I know, I'm his bitch. And it's like, okay, RFK Jr. is McDonald's. That's his, you my bitch. You know what I mean? The little Marco Rubio's, as he calls him, like he called the man little, then he give him a cabinet position, you know. Mm-hmm. Sleepy Ben Carson, then he go be in charge of HUD. This is his, you my bitch. Gotcha, bitch. Look in the camera. Smile.
Yep, and you ain't got no choice.
Smile. That's right. You my bitch. Hold that Coca-Cola up. Turn it towards the camera. You can throw it in the trash after, but the picture need to let the world know he's mine.
Yes.
And I think that's what's so interesting about that RFK Jr. picture.
Oh, yeah. He
and
does that to everybody.
Of course, you know, the fuck around and found out of it all is what do they call that? Schadenfreude or whatever. I think I'm going to have that, y'all. I think I'm going to have that for at least 4 years of me trying my best not to laugh maniacally on this microphone at people having buyer's regret.
Yep.
Because I knew. I don't know how you didn't know.
Yes,
I'm not accepting you didn't know as an excuse.
Right, it's one of those things where you got cars here in America. If you have a car that has a lot of problems, sometimes then we call them like lemon, like you got a lemon of a car, and so. You know, we going, hey, that car is a lemon. Don't buy it. And they're going, but I want to. And they're going. Then you give them like a list of shit that's wrong with it, and the manufacturer calls, you know, and all this shit that's wrong with it. And they go, no, but I still want this fucked up ass car. And you going, well, it won't get you where you need. Like you kind of for one of them, and the person is like, fuck it, I want the car. And after a while, you go, sure, you had the car, and then they broke down the side of the highway somewhere where you roll past them, and y'all, you got all I'm gonna do is just look and keep driving, baby, because that's the car you wanted.
It's even worse, cause we all got to be in the same car, so it's even worse. I'm not gonna be driving by like this. Doesn't bother me. It's not my life. Cause you know what? It wouldn't bother me. If I told you, hey, that car's a lemon, you went, fuck you, I'm picking the car I want to, and I saw you on the side of the highway, I'm like, well, he made a bad decision. I keep riding. No problem. People make bad decisions all the time. It's the fact that we're in this Uber together, my brother. And I don't have it in me to not read you for filth as the fucking radiator starts smoking on the highway. I am
the
not.
Brakes go out.
I'm not that big of a person. You know what I'm saying? I don't have the turn the other cheekness in me to be like, well, hey, we all thought this car, we're all in the car together now. We have to make this work. What help would it be for me to start being upset? My temper is not going to fix the car any faster. That's right. Those things are true. But I also don't give a fuck about that no more. So when I read this shit and it's like, they worried about the tariffs fucking up the price of tomatoes. Yeah, that's what we was worried about too. That's why we didn't vote for his ass.
Right.
But you know, I hope you and your fucking tomatoes go out of business, bitch.
That's what's
I'll put
happen.
cucumbers on my sandwich if I got to. I'll fucking grow my own. Whatever I got to do.
Whatever I got to do.
I just got to go in survival mode. I got to figure out how I'm going to pay for the tomatoes you fucked up.
Right.
And so the next one is this. Muslims who voted for Trump upset by his pro-Israel cabinet picks.
The fuck they thought was gonna happen? And see, not that fun. not to be angry, but this is the bullshit that made me mad all the time. That made me mad about the whole Palestine-Israel thing. It's like, okay, y'all, neither candidate is perfect, but y'all do know he is gonna make it worse. Like, y'all do know he is gonna make it worse. Like you do understand this. He gonna look at Benjamin Netanyahu and say, you got the green light, motherfucker. And now, y'all won't turn around like I'm crazy when I told you that he didn't give a fuck in the first place. And for some people, and I don't care what nobody says, I actually think that, in my opinion, a lot of that shit, there are some people that was really heavily, this was their one button issue. But I think a lot of that was generated by them robots and AIs and shit. And the reason why is because after the election, a lot of these pet peeve issues dropped. Like, I don't care what nobody said. Like, a lot of these pet peeve issues, they fucking disappeared online.
Yes. Why aren't they at the UFC fight where Trump showed up last night? Why aren't y'all outside? Where the signs at? Right? I mean, this the president-elect. This man got the power of the future. Don't go on TV crying about Joe Biden do something. It's too late.
It's too late.
The leverage he had was winning the election. That was all the leverage that he was going to have to be able to do something and be like, you know what? The people chose me for 4 more years, or Kamala. And you know what, dog? We cutting off the weapon supplies. We need a ceasefire today, because you can't run me up against the clock like you've been doing, where you kept wilding out till November, hoping I would lose the election. Well, I didn't lose, bitch. Do what the fuck I say, or you're cut off. You can't do that now. And last time I checked, Donald Trump called the shit, said they need to turn it into glass, said it was beachfront property. He don't give a fuck.
All them people.
He don't give a fuck. So, pardon me, as I have to, I can't have any other response to this. Like I said, you've made me cold.
Right.
I'm supposed to feel sorry for that bitch. I don't.
Right.
If you're a Muslim that voted for Trump, that's done. That's like if one of these niggas, and you know when I'm gonna do it, if one of these coons come out here in the next couple months and be like, I'm Tim Scott, and I can't believe Donald Trump didn't put me as a cabinet over HUD because I did so much for him. I'm be like, and I hate to say it, we're not a racist country, but that was a racist thing. No black people got a position. I'm gonna be like, suck my dick, you coon lip motherfucker, because you knew this, okay? You knew that when you was shining them gums up and going on tour for him, that you were going on tour for racism. And y'all love to pull this. Racism happened to me, not the rest of you blacks, to me and me only. Can the blacks come out? Where's Black Lives Matter for this? That's what's gonna happen, and I'm not gonna feel sorry for them. So in case you thinking, well, y'all just feel this way because y'all not Muslim, wrong. Because when it's black people, I'm gonna be the same energy. If you voted for Trump and they write one of these dumbass articles like, I'm a black man for Trump and I thought he was gonna do this, but I'm in prison. Good, bitch. Enjoy jail.
Right.
That's the fuck you should get.
Right.
Because you send a lot of us with that there with you when you absconded from the community, when you decided that you don't need to have no responsibility in the voting booth. So no, I don't feel bad for these motherfuckers. And this was why I always thought it was a dumb plan, and you have to mitigate harm, and you failed the test of how to mitigate harm.
Agreed. And it's just one of my things where you thinking that all these groups that are going to be affected, like you say, it's a percentage that went up across the board for him. And so for a lot of these groups, you're like, hey dog, he gonna pass shit that's going to directly impact you, and so I don't want to hear it. I just don't.
Yeah, we said it the whole time. I remember, like I said, we had people write into the show. I remember someone on Twitter like, how can you support this? And I said, because the other choice is Trump.
Right.
Grow up. What do you think this is? Katniss Everdeen, bitch? This is real life. What's wrong with y'all? That's an insane thing to do. I'm the bad guy because I'm like, if we have a choice between a knife and a bullet, we should probably go with the knife. I'd rather get cut on the arm than stabbed, than shot through the heart. Yeah, but I mean, how can you even support one of them? One of them's coming.
Right. Well, y'all don't have a choice. I'm gonna get hit by one.
So yeah, it was just, anyway, this, I guess y'all found out, but if you're writing these articles expecting sympathy, nope. And when they get to the white people, oh boy, because it's coming for the whites. That farm shit, just them tariffs, that's the beginning.
That's just the beginning.
I don't even know how to tell y'all. We probably gonna have some people stop listening to the show. I'm just gonna let you know.
Mm-hmm.
Because I try to be
I'm gonna be in
a
your
good
ass.
person. But the first time they write about this union voted for Trump.
Yes!
And all their jobs got sent to Mexico.
Right.
I'm going to be up in this motherfucker
down.
like, I'm sorry.
Right, because them people, because the thing is, the head of one of the unions, I think Team Masters, if I'm not mistaken. Teamsters was like.
Although he is Team Masters.
Yes, he is.
More like Team Masses. But
yes.
Go ahead.
Like, he was like, I'm going for Trump. Like, but there were individual parts. It was like, no, that don't make no sense. This nigga is anti-unions. Like, the whole party is anti-unions.
Yeah, so, all right, yep. All y'all that got mad because Michelle Obama saw that we had a childhood obesity crisis and was like, maybe we take some of the fucking sugar and the Kool-Aid out of the goddamn vending machines, and y'all lost y'all goddamn minds. Like, I only feed my kid pork bacon straight to the veins now, because no black woman's gonna tell me what I can do. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is out here like, listen, I've been looking at the young boys' testosterone and their balls are not producing enough sperm. I'm taking the seed and the nut oils out of the rotation. We all for that. And y'all like, thank you, alpha male. That's what we need. I'm going to go tan my balls on the mountainside. Thank you. We appreciate your efforts so much. This is not the nanny state at all. At least when he shows his arms, he has no shirt on at all. I'm not offended at all. Not even a little bit with his cheating ass. Like, y'all, the double standards is coming. And I'm going to laugh when motherfuckers are like, my child was not able to eat pizza today. I'm like, isn't that funny?
Mm-hmm. People overtime get all fucked up and screwed up. Yeah. Like a lot of people don't think this shit gonna impact them, but when they start passing up all these fucked up ass laws and everybody gonna like, oh shit, I ain't think it was gonna be me. Well, bitch, he gave a laundry list of shit. He was like, I'm coming for everybody's neck, and you ain't believe it.
And this is the last one, because I'm not gonna do all the stories every day, because I'm not going crazy. And I'm obviously gonna get riled up every time we do this segment for the next 4 years, and I don't want to go crazy. But I just thought this is funny. Have you heard about the blue bracelets?
Blue bracelets.
The blue bracelet is a symbol that Democratic women are gonna wear. Probably white. All right, let's go with the truth. It's white women. It's white women, y'all.
Is that like the safety pins?
It is like the safety pins. Yeah, we did this before. So they're gonna wear a blue bracelet to let you know I'm cool. I'm not like the other whites. Just need to let you know. Yeah, we lost. We didn't come through. The Roe v. Wade thing wasn't enough. It made some movement, but not enough movement. But I'm not like these other white ladies. I'm down.
I don't care about any of that bullshit. And yeah, like I said, y'all like to pull shit out. The thing that frustrates me about this, and I think that this election is gonna, and people are responding very, very differently this time, because for a lot of people that were bullshitting before, they wouldn't bullshitting this time, and so particularly since Kamala lost, they come up with that same energy. So I would not be surprised. People like, get the fuck out of here. We don't care. What we needed for you to do was show up to the polls and vote. Doing shit after he's elected is irrelevant, because he don't give a fuck. He don't give a fuck about your protest. He don't give a fuck about your march. Well, you know what he gonna tell the police? Go out there and gun them down. He does not give a fuck.
I don't think it's gonna work, but I do appreciate the effort every time. Because I definitely understand the need to want to be like, hey, I'm not with them. I don't agree with that shit. They fucked up. And the reason I like it is like, say you on the train, you on the bus, you know, you left your wallet at home, something like that. You at the Hornets game. I'm looking for these blue bracelets. Okay, let me hold $20. You know, like, ma'am, come on now. Y'all know what y'all did to the country. Y'all part of the reason I don't got the 20. Let me hold something.
Part of the reason why.
I feel like all these people with the blue bracelets should keep like $20 in cash on them too. Like, let's just complete the circle. Like, just basically be like an ATM. You know, because I'm not going to ask for y'all to march. Don't put the pink pussy hat. You can leave them back in the closet with the mothballs that they accumulated over the years. I don't really need all that performance. But occasionally I do need $5 cash to pay for parking. You know? You ever buy a hot dog, you be like, oh, shit. I'm $2 short. Look around the line behind you. Any blue bracelets? Maybe you got money plus the tip now. I don't know. You know, pay it forward, as they say. You see me in line ahead of you at the Chick-fil-A, go ahead and take that off of me. You know what I mean? Or you see me behind you at the Chick-fil-A in the drive-thru, go ahead and take that off of me. Just go ahead and do that for me. So yeah, I appreciate the blue bracelets. I'm not gonna get on them too hard. It's just more everybody's mad, and so we always forget when we're mad that there are legitimately good people on the other side that feel terrible that took a L too. You know, I don't, you know, there's a deeper philosophical conversation that we may work our way up to one day, because I don't know that I have all the words for it, and I'm not prepared to really say it all flat out. But you know, fuck it, let's just do it now, and then maybe we won't have to do it later. A big part of this backlash that everyone's talking about, to me, is kind of the way a certain type of opportunist saw 2016 and the death of George Floyd. By that I mean I think accidentally, I don't think they meant to do this, they accidentally unified groups that typically would not align with each other because of their hatred of each other. But I think they accidentally unified them behind this idea of, I just don't like being chastised, being cajoled, being mocked, being picked on, being the aggression of being put in my place or whatever. And there's a human element to all this shit that, you know, we've talked about on this show. I think more than most shows that talk about these topics, one of the through lines of the Blackout Tips has been, we have constantly been like, everyone's still a person.
Yes, they are.
And so whether you wrote some hierarchy, some pyramid, whether you have like ideas of how communities should work, there's only a certain amount of cajoling any human being can take. It's not about being right at that point. And I think social media especially exacerbated this problem to the nth degree, because the way we communicate with each other on there, it is rewarded by inflammatoriness. Like it is rewarded by
over
flatness. And you know, I remember there was a story, we covered this topic many times, but I've always said, like, the tools of the internet and social media are the same tools that if you read a clinical book about a narcissist, they're the same tools.
They hit all the same things.
Yeah, flying monkeys, harassment, shunning, you know, gaslighting, it's all the same.
Yes, sir.
And the thing that I've always pointed out is that most people don't care that it is that way unless it is happening to a person they like.
Right.
So if you harass somebody I like, that's bad. If you harass somebody I don't like, that's actually good. But at the end of the day, both things are harassment. If I dox somebody I disagree with, that's to me, that is still bad. And if you dox me, that is also bad. Like,
yes.
Like, because we didn't have a good exchange of ideas, because we can't agree on something. And I know, because these are behaviors I wouldn't necessarily participate in. It would have to be,
I don't participate in.
It would have to be so personal.
Yes.
It would have to be very, very personal. And I'm not saying this is less of a judgment of any individual. I'm just talking about the environment that we are having these quote unquote discussions.
You're right, on social media, right?
And I think what happened with people like, say, a Joe Rogan, who did not start off as a red pill conservative, but there's a thing that did happen where there was content being made out of bad faith aggregation of these people's work. Comedians, everyone goes to comedians and goes, why the fuck are comedians so fucking anti this and anti that? Like, comedians are divided now. You got the pro liberal ideas comedians, and then you have the like closet to hashtag very loud conservative ideas in comedy. And that's not a thing that always existed. It's not a thing that was always pronounced.
Right.
There was a time when, honestly, there were a lot of comedians you couldn't tell their political leanings through their comedy, because it was supposed to be a performance, and so they could be playing a character. They could just the job is, I just thought this was funny. But the thing that really fucked that up was kind of like how Tumblr started, and Tumblr and social media. They take like a comedian's stand up that he was performing in a small club, a venue, working things out, joke not even finished yet, and they take it and they be like, in print, not audio, not video, so and so said this, and they present it to you like it was a TED talk. Like Daniel Tosh got on the stage and said, I hate gay people, and he meant it, and it was no joke, and then he walked off, and everybody was like, wow, what an interesting moment, what an interesting speech he gave tonight. But that's not what happened. If you ever been in a comedy club, people say all kinds of outlandish shit.
Yes, they do.
You could take our show and type it down and find something and be like, wow, we took Guess the Race, and apparently this show is a racist piece of shit.
Right.
And someone could roll with that knows nothing about our show and be like, that's who the Blackout Tips is? I hate them. And so comedians, I think, was honestly one of the first pillars to fall. Yeah. Because a lot of them took, they're human. Once again, they're human. They're only designed for a certain amount of ridicule, mocking, whatever. They're not all the high level philosopher shit they claim to be. And so you keep picking on me, you keep taking me out of context, I'm in a room full of people laughing. Eventually they start becoming this reactionary group of people that claim it's about free speech. It's not. But really it's more about the changing landscape of what the environment that they put their commercialized speech in. It's a reaction to that, where they're like, I don't like the way y'all are making me feel, so now I'm gonna make you feel bad. Right. Yes. And that's how you get a Dave Chappelle doing shit about trans people for years, which is a topic he never touched on, never really seemed to give a fuck about in the first place. Not that he was woke or even progressive on ideas of gender or whatever, but like, he's stuck there. Yes, his mind can't move on to just, I'm just gonna do an hour of comedy that ain't really got shit to do with this. Right. Like, this shit don't really affect my life. I'm not even having these problems in real life. When I go places, everyone still greets me and treats me well. All the comedians still fuck with me. Why am I even obsessed with this? Trans people aren't even they don't even give a fuck at this point. But the internet gives a fuck. Right. Internet activists give a fuck. Social media people that want content give a fuck. And he's feeding into it because his ego gives a fuck, right? Yes. So Dave Chappelle's a guy that I think 10, 15 years ago, people would have put on the side of, I wouldn't say liberal, but on the side of like, one of the good ones. A good person. Like funny, does his comedy, might offend you a little bit, but for the most part, seem to be on our side.
Yeah, he's doing his job, and the job was to tell jokes and make you laugh.
Right. But over the last 15 years or so, it's become an economy of making sure people aren't on your side. Like, to be like, this person's not where they need to be 100% of the time, therefore they're the enemy, therefore we are harassing them, we're dogging. I've always pushed against this idea on our show. I think it was subconscious for me. I'm only crystallizing it now in the wake of this election. But I'm like, maybe this is why I'm like, why the fuck are we going in on Chris Pratt? What?
Right.
What is that about? Why are you going in on Taylor Swift? Like, there's at some point there's a need inside of you that is not being fed. So you're making up shit. Like you're turning nothing into something. So it's like when people go, silence is complicity, and I'm like, but it's really not though. It's really not, because sometimes silence is, I don't know what the fuck is happening, and I need to shut the fuck up and be in my lane.
Right.
And staying in your lane, ain't nothing wrong with that. Way more people need to do that shit.
Yes.
But seeing people kind of this crystallized after the election, because I'm trying to make sense of the way people lined up, especially when you look at the demographics that shifted to the right. And some of that shift is just other people staying home, but some of that shift is a shift.
Yes, a true shift.
Like, because you can say, well, people stay home. If those motherfuckers stay home, that's a shift, my nigga.
Yes,
that's a shift from
the reason why they chose to stay
you
home.
were voting for something to now you're not voting. That also counts as a shift to me.
Yes.
I can't say it was because you're so progressive. No, you didn't vote, and you knew what was on the tab, and you said that's fine. Looked at the bill, said that's cool. Y'all go pay that. So him, Dave Chappelle, Joe Rogan, who at one point was a Democrat, at least by his own words, but then once he got into the politics side of it, it was from a lens of the comedy. It was like, my friends who are comedians, they are now having their speech policed, and the worst things are being said about them. We're just fucking comedians. We're not supposed to have all this weight of the world on our shoulders. And this is before he had any of, like, his platform was as big as it is now. Right. But for years and years and years of him having this platform at this point, he's been red pilled. He's now Mr. like Tony Hinchcliffe was just saying jokes when he called Puerto Rico trash. What's the problem? That's my friend. Dave Chappelle, come on the show after every one of your specials about trans people. You know, bring on experts that are anti-science, anti-vax, all this stuff, right? And I remember thinking to myself, like, Joe Rogan has made jokes about the N-word on his show. Now, no black people's ever there when he does it, but he's done it. And you would think there'd be certain black people that are like, I'm not doing this fucking show. Like, this dude makes fun of my blackness when I ain't there. So why the fuck am I gonna hop on his show to make it seem like that shit is cool? Fuck him. Or when I do go on this show, I'm gonna bring it up and be like, hey, what was up with them fucking N-word jokes, dude? I thought you was cooler than that. But it don't come up, right? Because his show's not actually confrontational.
No.
His show's about actually finding common ground. His show is about something people pat themselves on the back for all the time. But I see it now in hindsight, and I'm like, oh, I see. His show's about having the conversation. And we don't really have conversations on the other side.
No.
We like the illusion of a conversation. We really do. We pat ourselves on the back for the illusion of a conversation. Like the idea that everyone comes here, we actually have the same ideas. We align point for point. We agree on everything. And then we pat ourselves on the back like, look at us. We fucking did it, guys. We did it. We solved everything. But over there, because of how strict it's become over here, that is now the default place where you can go and be wrong.
Yes.
Where you can go and fish yourself out with ideas. You can go and try to like figure out like, how should I feel about this? What does this really mean? And it would be fine if you went over there and it was really just an open-minded free-for-all. But it's the illusion of an open-minded free-for-all.
Agreed.
Because what a certain type of red pill type of grifter realizes, oh, the dummy's coming over here. And they're looking for answers.
Yes, they are.
And on the other side, when they ask those dumbass questions, they get hit with, Google is free.
Yeah.
I will not do labor. I already said, you should know this.
Yes, and people are human, y'all. Like, I get it, y'all. but particularly online, you know, it's very hard to have those conversations. But that's one thing about the left. The left is very they like to punish, even though they claim it's on the other side, but we love to punish.
Like I said, we always have the social death penalty. We're against the death penalty, but we're for the social death penalty. Motherfucker fuck up one time, we don't ever want them. There's no path to forgiveness or coming back. It is basically like fuck you forever. You apologize, apology not good enough. Fuck you shouldn't have did it. Get a time machine, bitch. Go back to when you did it. Don't do it. That's the solution.
Right, and also for me, when I say we're very punishing, and I've seen it done. I've been on the internet long enough, and I've seen it done over and over and over again. It's one of these things, and it goes across the board. And I know we have people that are listening that are highly educated, but it's some of it is them, a percentage, because, you know, you talk over people's heads. You don't like to break down shit. You always act like y'all niggas is dummies and y'all don't have degrees like me.
That's definitely a part of it, but
that's not the whole part.
Hold on. I don't think it's that because there's a certain way they talk over there that is also over your head. So like, just because like they have their own people that are quote unquote these wacky academics, you know, that's always a funny thing. That's so funny. They're like, I'm anti-vaccine. Now I have 3 PhDs and I'm a this, that, and other. And they use a bunch of big ass words that you don't understand and I don't understand. And they got their own coded language, you know. And so I don't think the issue is even the language. It is the attitude, which is for them. They want you to learn. Yeah. They want you to come over there. And our side is very much like, fuck, go learn on your own and come back when you ready to fucking have a conversation. And their side is like, oh, you don't know about RNA structure decomposition? Well, let me tell you, here's a link to this blog. Here's a thing I wrote. Let me give a conversation. Let's talk for 3 hours on Joe Rogan's show about it. And we're very much not like that on our side.
Agreed. And that's my point. It's like it's okay that you do this, but also, you know, you also need to take the time to break things down versus just kind of just smacking people in the face out of their ignorance. Because the thing is, when words change and terms change and these new phrases and shit came up that most of y'all just made up or found out 3 seconds ago, I found out 10 seconds later, and all of a sudden I'm a fucking idiot because I hadn't processed it completely yet.
It's the difference between like, oh, you don't know, let me tell you, and oh, you don't know, get the fuck out of here.
Right.
And I think it's out of protection, because keep in mind, the people on the left that we're talking about, we're marginalized people. We're the people that, you know, we got some stakes in this. It's not just an academic discussion for us.
Agreed.
So if you come to me as a black person and go, well, I don't think cops are doing anything wrong, there's a protection I'm sending out when I'm like, get the fuck away from me. Like, it's not just as simple as like, oh, I guess I'm just an asshole. But it's like, by necessity, it becomes a rough go for a lot of people. And then when you add in the left-wing grifter types who really make a lot of content and money off of this attitude of, look at how I am shitting on these people.
Okay,
that,
yes,
it's not just
okay,
them. Like, it's part of their signaling is like, I told this white bitch this. I told this. I said, listen, white man, you cisgender. There is something to that, to where it's not just I'm saying it to protect myself, but I'm saying it so that you see me saying it, so that you click on my video and not that next video. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's part of what I'm selling as well. And years of this.
Yeah,
it adds up.
Yeah, it erodes, and the thing is, you know, because it's a coalition, it's a collection of people over here, and so with that, you're gonna have people from different economic statuses, financial status, and things like that. And the thing is, you know, you have to continue to teach people, continue to educate people, and not shun them. Nobody's asking you individually to do it, but as a collective, we have to, because like Roger said, the conversations have got to be had. We quote unquote claim we had the conversation, but we're not really having the conversations. All we saying is, you don't know, sis, you don't know, get the fuck out my face.
But also, so that's like that's the online component of it.
Agreed.
So, cause like I'm trying to make sense of it, and I'm like, how the fuck did Dave Chappelle align with conservative white people that definitely have like white supremacist leanings? Like this, like that Joe Rogan thing does not just start and stop with trans people. There's a bunch of fucked up shit they got to say about a lot of different types of people. And I'm not saying he overtly says it, but just he will have somebody on this show that's like, oh yeah, that person's a white supremacist. Yes. And the ideas they're espousing, great replacement theory and shit like that, are racist ideas. And that means Dave Chappelle is in the crosshairs, and it's something that Dave Chappelle seems to have stood against his whole life. But you know what Dave Chappelle's never really stood against? Having that conversation. He ain't afraid of it. He ain't afraid of, he's more turned off by people being harsh about the ideas than he is by the harshness of the ideas that hurt him. Ideas that he did a whole fucking special on after George Floyd that had basically no jokes in the shit. So ideas that incense him. But at the same time, his strange bedfellows are now these people that promote these ideas, because he's like, I don't really have a place over there where I can't make this joke. I can't say this thing. I can't be wrong. I can't there's no level of good faith in it. Everything I say is 100% bad faith. I'm only using him as an example because I'm thinking of all the different types of people. And that collection combines up that whole thing of like, I don't want a black woman as president is not about Kamala Harris as a candidate. It's about what black women have come to represent to these people in social media and life. Because how many people listen to black women? Black women gonna save us. Black women, magical, black magic, black girl magic. And a lot of these people have quietly or loudly, but I think a lot quietly, have been quietly like, you just a fucking person like I'm a person.
Yes.
Sometimes you be wrong. Sometimes I'll be wrong.
Right.
No one's fucking above being wrong. And you know, I think it's made these people, I don't know that they even find each other, because I would hesitate to say all these people that are voting for Trump are these like, we all listen to Joe Rogan. We all like, some of these women probably don't fuck with Joe Rogan. Some of these black people probably don't fuck with white women, or depending on the group. Some of these black men do, but you know what I mean. Like, there's a bunch of
different groups,
circles, and the Venn diagram in the middle where they meet is that shit that Trump was saying.
Yes,
it is that. It's that woke DEI. It's
that them.
Them. They telling you what to do. They telling you how to think. They got a nasty attitude. It makes you feel like you're losing something, even though you're really not losing shit. But you don't like that. So we're all free thinking over here together collectively to go say to these people, fuck you. That is why, because you know how people keep going, why are they so mad? They won. They're on Twitter trying to fight. They're on Facebook making weird posts.
But they won.
But you know why they're mad? Because it was fuck. They said fuck you. This vote was them being mad.
Yes.
It's not necessarily a clean logic to it. When I talk about people that said, I'm just not voting because she's a black woman, I'm talking about people that sat home. I'm talking about people that voted Democrat down ballot but not for her. I'm talking about people that switched their vote, people that voted for Biden but then voted for Trump. Those are the people. I'm going to be incensed with them forever. But this other group of people is definitely a collection of individual gripes that come together. It's the Karens. Going, it's white women being like, Karen is a slur to me, and we're like, shut your white ass up. It's not the same as niggas. You don't know what the fuck you talking about. But is there something to that impulse to label somebody a Karen because they said something you didn't agree with, or how we throw it around at some point where it's like, I'm just mocking you for being a white woman. I like, you didn't really do shit.
After a while, the terminology
but at some point,
changed.
At some point, it switched over from this white woman was doing something racist in public and we called her a Karen, to just like, I was at the store the other day and I saw this white lady and her they double charged her for her groceries and she went to customer service. I'm like, look at this Karen. I'm like, nigga, you do that too. Then I guess I'm a Karen. I don't want to get double charged for groceries. But it just becomes like, now we're just mocking each other. This is not really a conversation anymore. The blue bracelet thing kind of reminds me of that, to where like we're mocking the idea that you're somewhere being devastated, being like, I have to find a way to signal to people that I still want to be a helpful person and a member of society of this multicultural coalition. I want you to look at me and understand you are safe with me. I will do what I need to do. Whether it's true or not, whether you call that bluff or not, we're shitting on them, right? We're shitting on them for trying. We're like, fuck you, bitch. You should have tried in the booth. Nigga, if I'm wearing the braces because I did go to the booth and try. I'm devastated like you devastated. This is fucked up. And so my point being, we still have a multicultural coalition that has to go high. That is the only way it's going to work on this side.
Yeah, because
everyone is going to have to want it for someone else.
Yes.
Not just them.
Yeah.
Someone else.
Yeah.
Because of the harshness of the environment. And this is, for the record, not taking any of the onus off of the conservative environment, the toxicity over there. This ain't no excuses for these motherfuckers. Y'all know how I feel about them motherfuckers. What I'm saying is, the internet as a medium has made our society this harsh towards each other.
Agreed. And also, the thing is, when people on the left say they want to have a conversation, particularly online, they don't really want to have the conversation. They just want to really come out and scold you for not agreeing with them. And so, like you said, as a collective, we actually are going to, quote unquote, have to have a conversation.
It's not a conversation on our side. And for years, I've been like, yeah, fuck it. We just got to have the raw numbers and go out here and win. We got to want it worse than the other side.
Right.
But now I'm looking back at this election and I go, oh, okay, I see the flaw in that. I forgot. People are people. They need emotions. They need to feel good.
Yeah. And people ain't going to take you punching them so much and be like, fuck it, the fuck I'm over here for. Anytime I move, breathe, say something, somebody smacking me online, well then why would I continue to be over here when all I see is abuse? People don't look at it like that, but these people that you're talking about view it like that.
Well, it's because it's true though.
Agreed.
Because this is the thing. We do look at it like that. Look at our side. What do we say? Don't tone police me. Right? Like, we have a bunch of rules over here for us when we don't want to be talked to just any old kind of fucking way.
Right, because we're human.
Because it's like, hey, we going to respect each other over here. And then you have people from over there that are disrespectful. So, of course, we're like, fuck you. Don't come over here. Makes total sense. But there's a whole bunch of other people that literally don't know. They don't fucking know.
They don't know. They don't keep up with
They don't
nothing.
keep up with the terms. They don't read all the goddamn books. They don't have time for all the goddamn books. They don't know that the term changed this weekend to the next term and we're using this now. They don't got that. And all of this is exasperating to them.
Yes,
and
it's
so
tiring.
There's a way to inspire that person. And this is why I say for the rest of my life, I'm never listening to no nigga shit on Barack Obama. Period.
Nope.
But the reason I say that is because he understood this so much better than all the people that think they're smarter than him do. He just knew how to talk to motherfuckers.
Yep.
That skill is underrated as shit.
Yes, it is.
He knew how to talk to a motherfucker that was racist to make that person go, I don't think I'm racist no more. That no one else can do it. I ain't seen nobody else pull it
magic
off.
trick.
Him and Joe Biden, the only motherfuckers I ever seen look a racist in the face and be like, but you not racist, right? And then being like, oh, I guess I'm not. Yeah, you right. And I'm like, what kind of Scooby-Doo ass magic trick was that? So, we have a problem over here of how to communicate these ideas in a way that aren't just communicating the idea, but are influential and motivating people to align with the idea. I mean, look at what happened with the Palestine shit. How much of that conversation online was just everybody shitting on each other? Mm-hmm. Very little of the Palestine conversation was like, hey, so this is the history of this region.
Right.
I
had to go other places to learn that information.
Yes. I went to podcasts, read long form articles, all kinds of shit, read a book. Like, that very little of it was about influencing people to your side through educating them. It was assuming the worst of the person. You know, it was, well, how can you be for Biden if you so you okay with babies getting killed? Now think about the structure of that motherfucking sentence for a second.
Right.
That is a sentence that if you've been online, you've heard, read, saw, maybe even had leveled at you. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine you, human being that just got accused of that, going, yeah, no, I love babies getting killed. Right. Zero people think that. And what you would think, like, what the rhetorical idea is, I ask you a question like that, and then you're supposed to go, no, I would never be for babies getting killed. And then you go, so then how can you support Joe Biden? And then I'm supposed to go, well, I don't. I would never support Joe Biden. I love babies. And you go, right, so we're not voting, right? Yeah, of course not. We're not voting. That's what they want. Uh-huh. They don't want a conversation. They want the illusion of a conversation.
Yes.
Meanwhile, if you go back and go, okay, well, I have a follow-up question. So we not fucking with Biden. What happens after that? Well, that's not the problem. You're not going, no. I would like to know,
because there's consequences.
What happens when we decide he's out of office? Mm-hmm. What happens to Palestine? What happens to those babies that are the babies that remain, the babies that are left? What happens to the people?
Right.
What happens to the land? But we wouldn't be responsible for that because we didn't vote. So that's not our problem. It's not our fault.
Right.
But it kind of feels like it would be our fault because we would have allowed something worse to take the place of something already bad. Mm-hmm. So it feels like that would be something we could have prevented, and it would be on us. No, that's not how this works at all. That's no. So I guess you like killing babies. That's the side where we have. That's the issue we have on the side is everybody likes killing babies because they disagree with you, and that type of extreme rhetoric is what manifests online. It's what propagates online.
It turns people off.
But it turns people off. But my point is, it is the language of online, and it's not exclusive to the left. Like, don't get once again. I'm not saying these things are exclusive to the left. There's a group of the right that is like this too.
Yes.
But what they'll do is something more devious where they'll go, trans people are sexually assaulting children. And you care about children, don't you? And people go, I do care about children. Well, then you should be against trans people. Shit, not even true. They pull up one article.
True.
The motherfucker telling you this get busted abusing children 3 months later. None of it fucking matters. It's because the attitude is, I'm bringing you in. Let me put you on. I'm bringing you in. I'm not rebuking you. I'm not telling you. I'm not pushing you out. I'm letting you in on a secret. So, like, a big thing this week was mostly white people, but I'm sure some other people too. There's this thing like Kamala should have went on Joe Rogan. She should have went on Joe Rogan. You're not getting. He's already legitimized. You're not gaining anything by not going on his show. Mm-mm. You're not. Go ahead, Karen. I'm sorry. You sound like you want to say something.
It's just one of my things. It wouldn't have made a difference.
Well, this is what I'm getting to. They're like, whether she win or not, legitimately, I feel zero way one way or the other. It just like if he would have done if he would have done that thing where they said, just come out here, we'll get a hotel room or something. You can interview her for an hour, and I would have been fine with that. Like, a lot of people would have been mad about that. I wouldn't have been mad. I wasn't mad she did the thing with Charlamagne. I think she's a competent, established, well-spoken person that can sit down and articulate her ideas. And I think the interview would have went off without a hitch. I think he would have tried a couple gotcha things. I don't think he would have got her. I don't think it would have been a big deal. I think he would have looked kind of dumb. But here's the thing that you have to understand about that. If she would have went on Joe Rogan, it wouldn't have been confrontational. He doesn't do confrontation like that. Not like that. Like, he might try to ask you a tough question. You know, he wants to look objective with Trump. So he's like, I don't know about that, man. But he's going to come out and support Trump. Like, we all knew that. So that's not the part that, to me, is where I think the consideration lies. Like, whether she did the show or not, I don't think she's making huge inroads with his fan base. And that is the part worth discussing. Why do y'all think it's so simple? She goes on there for 3 hours, and all of a sudden, these white people that listen to Joe Rogan, these dudes that are into all this shit, are suddenly like, oh, no, she's not bad, I'm gonna vote for her. Why do you think it's that simple? Because you really don't respect them people over there. You don't really think them people is people. Because and you really don't understand Joe Rogan's platform and appeal. What Joe Rogan really has done is slowly been red pilling his audience the way he's been red pilled for like 10 years now. One appearance on his show will not change anything. It just won't. Because you're talking about trying to change people's mind in 3 hours when there's literally hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of hours of the other thing. These people are in a completely different ecosphere mentally. Like, they do not exist in the fact that you think we all have in common. They don't exist in that. And what is allowable and not allowable, what makes someone good versus what makes someone bad, they don't even have the same value system, because for 8 years, they've been slowly changing that value system. So this idea that Kamala was just going to walk in there, have a great interview, and then walk out of there with 100,000 new votes, it's a pipe dream that is once again rooted in this fallacy of giving whiteness this plausible deniability that is like, they don't really want this, they just need to hear it from someone else. She just needs to go on a campaign trail and talk to them. No. They were never going to vote for her, because it's the same guy that told his audience, and it was exposed on the show live, but this is a guy that was willing to believe that there was a child at an elementary school who was dressing up as a furry and eating out of litter boxes in the bathroom.
I remember that.
And it was all because teachers were allowing the woke stuff to be in it. This is a guy who legitimately, sincerely believed that, had to be fact checked and told it was wrong, and still doesn't come away from it like, maybe a lot of the things I say about trans stuff is wrong. Doesn't come away with it like that. Basically goes, oh, okay, all right, well. Anyway, here's the next bullshit thing that might be true, that I might believe, right? 8 years of that. You're not battering that down with 3 hours of talk. So you don't even respect the apparatus that you believe red pilled these people. And so you think you about to just fix this in an election cycle? You think you about to just fix this through a couple of, well, we'll have some left-wing podcasts. Left-wing podcasts harsh as fuck.
Yes, they are.
It's not.
I've listened to them.
The tone has to change. And the thing that I find the most interesting is, this is not something Kamala Harris and her campaign needed to know, were responsible for, or fucked up in. The Kamala Harris campaign seemed to understand the assignment. They were the ones like, we got to be president for everybody. We got to bring in conservatives. We got to listen. We got to say Dick Cheney is good. Liz Cheney is cool. We got to say all the shit to let these people know you can come here with your set of beliefs just because we're trying to be the better alternative. Hey, look at our economic policies. We passed that. We're pro-union. We standing on the union lines with you. That's not what this election was about. I think this election was about a cultural pushback.
Yes.
And she just became the symbol. And that is what Trump understood that is different than other politicians. He never ran against Kamala Harris. He ran against a black woman. He ran against an idea.
Yes, he did.
He ran against wokeness and transness and inclusivity.
That them.
He ran on grievance. He ran on them.
Yeah, I told you that. And that them is all inclusive.
Yeah.
Whatever your issue is, if it's a them on the end of it, he was like, I'm going to get them.
And the thing with our big tent over here on our side is that our big tent has a lot of people pushing out other people from the tent. This is not a big tent of like what's supposed to happen, what used to happen. What happened for Barack Obama, what happened to Joe Biden. You be in the tent, you look to your left, and you see George the second Bush. You see George H.W. whatever. You see that Bush that you don't like. And he over there hugged up on Michelle Obama. And what was supposed to happen, what used to happen is you look over there and then you look at me, you look at Karen, and you roll your eyes. And then me and Karen roll our eyes with you. Like, oh, this motherfucker. Now it's get him the fuck out the tent or I want out the tent. That's it. I'm leaving the tent. I'm leaving the tent. Fuck it. If y'all gonna have him in here, I ain't room enough for both of us. And then you look around, the tent not big enough to win no more.
No,
all of a sudden, tent a little less full.
Tent a little less full. Tent done shrunk.
It used to be we're single issue voters that kind of understand we need to tolerate that dreaded word. Tolerate each other. And I've always said this shit about civil rights and the law and cops and policing and stuff. I was always like, I don't really, y'all, and maybe it's a generation thing. Y'all a little too worried about how these people genuinely feel.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
Like when I go to a job and they say we're a family, I have never been fooled by that. I don't never care. Whenever someone is like, you know, I hate the word ally, just be a good person. Yeah, I hear you. I hear what you're saying. I guess that's nice. Here's what I'll take. Follow the goddamn law.
That's all.
If your business is a publicly, like, people can come in your public business, and the law in our city is you can't be in here being like, I don't make cakes for gay people and blacks. Follow the goddamn law. That's good enough. Now look, when I ain't around, you could be back there in the kitchen making my cake like I hate them niggers, and I'm gonna have to just not know. And when I get my cake and it get the same service as everybody else, I'm gonna take it back to the crib, cut it up, eat it, never knowing it was made by the KKK cakes. You know,
yeah, and I will be just fine. I'm like that too, because at like I said, it might be a generational thing. At the end of the day, I just want you to abide by the law and just leave me alone. That's
should I have known when I looked at your business and the cake business was named CaKe and all the K's was capitalized in cake?
CaKe.
Maybe I should have known, but I didn't know, and you followed the law, so we don't need to go there. I don't need to know your fucking attitude. Do I need to know that every man is upstanding, every person? No, I don't. But if you follow the fucking rules, we'll never have to know that shit.
We will never have to know.
Just follow the fucking rules. That's why
I care about.
When you see why black people are always very, very pragmatic about laws and government, it's not because we are so patriotic and love this country. We're just literally never seen it work no other way.
Right.
Every time black people have progressed in this country, it's because we made the country do what the fuck it's supposed to do by putting it in writing. We don't trust this country.
Put it in writing.
We don't take any handshake agreements. It's like, write it down. Write it down. Okay, so this is the thing. Y'all got the right to vote. Write it down. New amendment then, bitch. Nope, nah, because y'all be bullshitting. And other groups haven't learned that. They're going to fuck around and learn it this time, probably. But my point being, like, I don't need hearts and minds. It's nice to have them. You know, if you get like a transcendent figure like Barack Obama who just know how to talk to them, make them think they got the hearts, and fine. But that shit ain't coming out. That shit don't grow on trees. They didn't make two of them. Y'all name all them other motherfucking politicians y'all thought should have won the primary, and I'm gonna tell you right now, zero of them are Barack Obama.
Right, and most of the country don't know who the fuck they are.
Zero. I do know who they are, and zero of them. Gavin Newsom ain't Barack Obama. Pete Buttigieg, love the dude. He ain't Barack Obama. He not gonna make them see past him being gay. Barack Obama has some type of gift to make them see past him being black. I have my ideas for how he did it, and I understand the resentment for how he did it, but nigga, he did it. And everybody else been coming up short since.
Yes, they have.
And so I think the broader point that I'm trying to make here is like a coalition of necessity was formed from all these bitter motherfuckers that just got tired of being like, I don't like being called cis het, and us being like, man, it doesn't mean anything, you cis het bitch. And them being like, oh, okay, I got something for your ass. This is the something they have for our ass is Trump. Their point isn't that they believe in Trump.
Nope.
It's that they don't. They are as much about him being a symbol as
he's a symbol,
as
right?
he is about him being himself. That is what I have come to believe over this last week.
Yeah, he's a symbol.
I don't think there's other ways people can try to break this down individually, every little single issue, the bigger thing, because I'm thinking what's common. Because these groups don't have a lot in common.
They all over the place.
Women
right?
are giving up the right to bodily autonomy to be over there. Black dudes are literally giving up their freedom to be over there. None of these motherfuckers getting access to power. I looked at that cabinet. That cabinet was whiter than motherfucking your grandmama's China cabinet. It wasn't not a nigga in that motherfucker.
And it won't be.
And won't be. Ain't trying to be. But why is Byron Donalds up there shucking the motherfucking Dixie? Because it's something else. It's not just as simple as like, it's not as simple as just the bigotry. They don't even all hate the same them.
Yes, they don't all.
Yeah.
That's why I use them as a collective, because the them is scattered all over the place, y'all.
Yeah. And so I think is looking at the analysis and the post debate, I just think so much of it is missing it, because if you start from a place of one, dismissing the bigotry, then I think we can't have a conversation. I think that's just stupid. I think you're a child and you need to grow the fuck up. Now, I don't necessarily know what you can do about it, but it exists. There's a lot of bigotry over there, and they're selling it, and the people are buying it
by the barrels,
and they're not accidentally getting it. They just either don't care or they want it. Those are the only two. So we got to start there. But then the second thing is, how did these motherfuckers that hate each other end up together? When that used to be the calling card of the Democrat Party was, I don't like you, you don't like me, but nigga, we need to, if you get a little something, I get a little something, fine. I'm gonna look the other way. You know, like that's cool. And all these like fixes that everybody has is just like throw the marginalized people out. It's not gonna work.
It's not gonna work.
And here's the last thing I do want to say, because I gotta go to the gym, and I know I filibustered and I've been talking, but this is literally all I've been thinking about for a week. And I was like, when I get back on the mic, I just want to say this at some point. I was gonna save it for a whole different show, but I just rather get it over with now, because I'll tell you this much: if anyone writes in or hears this and says, "You guys made it sound like it's our fault on the left that these people are bigots," thank you for proving my point. If you write in with that bullshit, because this has been a very nuanced, long-winded discussion that covered a lot of angles, and at no point was it, and we shouldn't feel that way. No. I know why we feel that way. I'm black too. I want to protect my space. Fuck you.
Right.
Get out of here. It's aggressive.
Yes.
But it's not a learning
understand.
environment.
No, it's not.
And we don't really have a learning environment for people to come in and learn. It's a very like fuck you attitude. And they're fucking us back now. This is them going fuck you back. And we're like, but look how fucked up things are going to get. And they're like, that's how much I don't give a fuck.
Right.
I'm hurting myself to hurt you. And even if you, just to let you fucking know, right? But here's the last thing. I was thinking about this morning. When this all started, I had a homie hit me up when it was Kamala Harris, and right before, actually no, right after Joe said it should be Kamala Harris. I'm stepping down. Kamala should be the nominee.
Okay.
And he hit me up and was like, I don't think she can win. She's a loser candidate, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, I don't agree with you on that. I actually think she's a winner candidate. I think you're thinking of like some shit some white people said a few years ago, and we have no reason to keep believing that bullshit. And I think she acquitted herself with the campaign she ran. If you literally watch this and went, it was the campaign she ran, we just see the world completely different, and I don't really know how we'll ever see it the same. So it's just not worth fighting about. I don't want to fight you about it. I'll listen, I hear you out, but I just can't imagine any argument that it will erase what I witnessed in North Carolina. Us picking all Democrats down the ballot except her.
Except her.
That's not a campaign issue, my man. When I see these ads, that ain't campaign issues. That's not the economy. It's not. Nope. It's not Palestine.
Like I said,
it's not what you want it to be, and it's because you have your picadillos with the Democrats in general. And so whoever it was going to be, you were going to have this issue, and if they lost, you were going to act like that was the reason they lost. I'm just telling you, I saw with my own eyes. No argument will ever convince me. People just kind of wanted this shit.
Yes, they did, and nothing else would change my mind. Like I said, particularly if you lived in these swing states and you saw these commercials, the bulk of the country did not see these goddamn commercials we saw here. That shit makes a difference.
And so this is what I'm saying. The thing that he said was when I was like, well, if they don't pick Kamala, this will be the biggest betrayal in the history. Like maybe since the right to suffrage went to black men first, this will be that level of betrayal to black women. As the people that essentially have done a great job of trying to make the Democratic Party live up to what the fuck it said it's gonna do.
You said this, bitch, not me.
Yeah, right. And maybe those things hurt the Democratic Party in general because white people and men and people that, people of privilege are not possible to living up to what they said they wanted to do. That could be that. Listen, there's some people coming out that they have these very harsh takes about like, we need to get rid of all these DEI woke initiatives and just get back to the economy. They could be right. It don't make it okay. It don't make it morally good, but they could absolutely look at the math and be right and be like, we got to drop all this, defund the police, all this trans lives matter, all this blah, blah. We got to drop all this shit. We got to listen to black women. We need to get back to just the economy and then social issues. We just not touching them. I don't agree with it. I think it will hurt the party. I think it will hurt America. But the lesson that white people are probably coming out of this with is not the one all these motherfucking political theorists on Twitter thought, which is they're going to be even more progressive. They never learned that lesson. Nope. It's always going to come out like, how do we get these white folks back? Right. That's what the fuck happens. Yes. The only way it won't happen is if marginalized people stay on the neck of the Democratic Party to say, no, we are pushing further. That's the only way it will happen. Is if that, and I don't know that people had a willpower for it, but I mean, I know Jasmine Crockett is, I think, trying to run for like speakership and stuff. So like, it could happen, but I'm a little like, we'll see. Cause I feel like in the past, all the American history I've studied, they jump back. They're like, hey, y'all tripping, right? But the point, but the point I'm trying to make is this, that I thought of this morning. When I said that about they better pick Kamala, because if not, black women are like, I don't even know what you can't fix that bridge. And he said, not to be harsh or anything, but like, where they gonna go? And it bothered me at the time, but I didn't really have like all this hadn't happened yet, and I hadn't really sat down and thought about like, because I'm like, I get your point, but this feels different to me, and I don't know why it feels different. And here's why I think it's different. I think people still think black women are like even good people with good intentions. In their mind, it's still the Republican version of like welfare queen black women. Black women, the most educated, the most entrepreneurial, the most employed, the better financed
than any other group in this goddamn country.
The reason when you say they're the backbone of the Democratic Party, part of that is also because they did the work. Like, it's not like because the Democratic Party was like, we need a background. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, Democratic Party can no, it's like they did the work. They're competent. They're ahead of other people. They see a bigger picture. They understand when you gotta
always had to care about the collective.
They understand we have to put another fucking face on the same point that you're making because they know that you won't listen to me.
Yes.
So this idea that black women individually and collectively won't manage to survive without the Democratic Party is asinine.
Yes, it is.
Half of this shit don't even really affect them. Like not even, and that's not like being like weird, but
true.
half of this shit that people, trans issues not 100% a black woman issue. Like just a black woman issue. What even a black trans woman? There's other issues I gotta deal with that might not, like maybe it's a bathroom bill in my state. Maybe it's just some other shit I gotta deal with. But not every black woman is trans. So you talking about a small percentage of black women there that are like, this is what I'm dedicating my time to. Right. No, when you seen a lot of black women in the Democratic Party lining up for inclusion, that's for the benefit of everybody. Because they deal with so much marginalization. They're like, yes, we should help out LGBTQ people too, of course, because we know what it feels like. Everyone else that only got that one, they like, I don't know about all this, but I don't feel comfortable. Okay. Then you got economics. A lot of these women are doing fine. Better by their damn self.
Come on.
So like, what are we talking about? When we're talking about families and all, we got to have a family. You know who makes that demand? Mostly black men who are trying to get control over black women.
Yes.
Being like, they breaking up the family. No, you mean they're breaking up the patriarchal construct of a family in which you believe you should have a promise of getting to run a household and your kids and tell them what to do.
Right.
You should make the most money and all this shit. This is a different conversation for another time. I'm not trying to break it all down, but my point being, the idea is like, this is what the black women should want. No, a lot of black women like, I'll be just fucking fine by myself. I'll figure my situationship out.
I save my coins. I be all right.
Yeah.
And
then education wise, you know, maybe you could bring up student loans. I think student loans are a real issue for black women because of how much education they have and because we don't necessarily have generational wealth.
Right.
That would have helped everybody. That would definitely help black women with student loans and stuff. But it ain't no reason to feel stuck with the Democratic Party. Student loans wasn't even on Joe Biden's fucking agenda when he got elected. So like there's an assumption that like black women are so desperate that they're doing this work.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't think that's what's happening. I don't, like, just statistically, I don't think you have the argument to back that up. There are groups in this country that actually are doing worse than black women and should be more desperate, who are like, I'm gonna go fuck with these Republicans. I don't think black women gonna fuck with Republicans, but I do think it's totally possible they'll be like, okay, Democratic Party ain't doing it. They ain't got it. Now they writing all these fucking op-eds about how we the problem. They tired of this idea of like, Kamala came to represent the harsh scold of to me, the online internet version of a black woman. Listen to black women, shut the fuck up, you Karen, blah, blah, blah. She doesn't promote that, but that's what the right was able to sell her as. That's the unifying idea that I'm talking about.
Right.
That's where Joe Rogan and Dave Chappelle can shake hands is, man, these bitches ain't finna tell us what to do. Oh, with all they woke DI black, I'm Indian, I'm a woman. I don't give a fuck. Okay, I don't like that y'all came in here and tried to tell me how to handle my business, and I'm gonna put you back in your place. Know your place aggression, as Professor Caritha calls it, right? So I feel like this idea of putting black women in their place really was the undercurrent of this last probably 8 years of the internet, ever since like Black Lives Matter popped up and it was a bunch of black women getting a lot of credit for that movement and writing stuff, you know, like we're reforming what the family structure is and we are a leaderless movement and y'all better not do TV and we fuck Obama and fuck you and fuck the police and fuck. there's this idea a lot of people collectively was like, nah, fuck y'all though. I actually do. I'm black. I want police in my neighborhood. I just want to do their job.
Just do your job.
Well, that's not what we decided. Okay. Well, when it's my turn to have a say, which I will, y'all are going to feel how I feel today. And it's not right. I wish people were better people.
But they not.
They not better people.
No,
These
not.
The people we got. And there's a math to this where it's going to be like, how do you figure out the numbers to have more numbers than the side of these people who collectively said fuck you to all of us? My guess is you'll find those numbers after Trump. Just because I don't think they're going to be swayed. I don't think the environment is going to change. I don't think anyone's going to start educating, pulling people in. I don't think you're going to find any left-wing podcasts that actually have real conversations with people that they don't agree with, that say offensive shit that they vehemently disagree with, and are willing to be like, and come back next week and we'll do it again. I think that time is dead. I think that shit is over.
Yes.
So I think the only thing that could bring people back together is being so fucked up in this country where it's like, oh man, the eggs cost more, the gas costs more, the fucking, I can't get a house. Oh, he lied about this thing. The fluoride isn't in the water. My teeth falling out. Whatever the fuck. It's gonna take that before these motherfuckers wake up and go, oh, that's what y'all meant when you said vote for Kamala Harris? I just wanted to say fuck you real quick. I didn't know it was going to have consequences. Elections and the last two albums of the 90s by Tribe Called Quest got the same thing in common. Consequences y'all didn't want. Okay? That's just... Sorry, Consequence, if you listen to this. I actually thought you was a good rapper. I'm sorry. But my point is, this idea that black women are like left with nowhere to go...
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. And if they literally abandon the party, which I do not see why, I can absolutely see a path where they would. I'm not saying they should. And I know there's a lot of black women listening. If Eljoy's listening, I know she one of the people that's going to stay and fight. I'm not, so this is not me encouraging this.
Yeah, but
I would understand.
I agree, baby. And I know we got to go, but this is how I truly feel. The whole Democratic Party, the totality of the Democratic Party has taken the strength and the backbone and the nuances and shit that black women have done for this party for centuries for granted. Like, they just took that shit for granted. Because in order for somebody to kind of make that statement, like where they're going to go, like we don't have a choice, you know, like... And the thing is, this was a smack in the face. And in our minds, we're like, well, we did it for y'all. And y'all told us no. So you rejecting her is you rejecting us. So you're going to have a percentage of black women that are going to be like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to vote then. Since you say I'm the problem, I'm not even going to participate in the process anymore. And you're going to have a lot of black women like me that's going, I will do the bare minimum, which means I will vote.
Which I don't think the Democratic Party can survive or come back if that's how most black women end up feeling. And I'm just, it's a very tenuous time because, as I said to start this whole segment, we lost by 1 point. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a game where you went, oh man, 49-48, tough loss in the Super Bowl, and people are like, burn this motherfucking team to the ground. And I'm like, y'all sure? Get the black women off the team, get the gay people off the team, get the trans people out of the team. This, like, y'all sure that that's the reaction you want coming out of this election? Because I promise you, the worst thing that can happen is that you get your wish.
Yes,
because if motherfuckers really start going, okay, we're not wanted here.
We're not wanted here.
You will never get those other white people who haven't voted Democrat since the Civil Rights Act passed. They're not coming back. They like what's over there, or they don't care about what's over on the other side. This pipe dream that they're gonna grow a heart like the Grinch on Christmas Day, it's not happening, bro. So I really do think we're in a precarious situation. Everybody better be careful what they fuck yous. You know, that's why I'm not, like, I know it's a eye-rolling thing. I know some motherfuckers don't like it. You know, I know that little voice in your head is mocking me when y'all hear me talk about this shit. But that's why I don't want to participate in the, like, And these motherfucking a white woman said I didn't vote for this, and I said, bitch. I'm like, no, I don't know. She probably didn't. She's probably fucking devastated. It sucks. It fucking sucks.
Yes, it does.
You know what I mean? I'm not yelling at you because you went to Thanksgiving. I'm going to my Thanksgiving too. Maybe my Republican aunt will be there. I don't know, but it is what it is at this point. That's not what it is that's gonna win this thing back. If it's gonna be won back, there has to be a place to land for everybody. I thought Kamala Harris's campaign understood that.
They did.
I did not realize this was never about Democrats. It was never about the campaign. It was always about the idea of the left and the culture of the left. And I did not understand the amount of angst people had towards it, that they would willingly burn the country to the ground to be like, but at least I'm sticking it to y'all too. And so that's where I think that's where I think the commonality is a lot of people going, yeah, well, sure, my house is on fire, but the whole neighborhood on fire. And that'll teach you motherfuckers about saying I got too many Christmas lights or whatever the fuck. Like the whole neighborhood got to go up because y'all said the homeowners association said I couldn't have that many lights in my front yard.
And you're like, why can't it just be your house?
Yeah, like the fact that Donald Trump is appointing Darth Vader the new head of Space Force.
Come on, Darth Vader.
And we're sitting over here being like, but shit, Kamala went on Joe Rogan. We're missing the fucking point.
Building a new moon and shit. What the hell is happening here?
Yeah, that's not a moon. We're
that's the Death Star.
Yeah, we're sitting over here being like, oh, Voldemort named the head of education. And then we're like, but you know what the real problem is? She went on call her daddy. But she didn't go on.
That's the real issue.
She didn't go on the Joe Rogan show. Like we are missing the motherfucking point. And I don't know how you fix it. I wish I had the answers. I don't know who the next transformative leader is gonna be. I don't know who's gonna step up into this void. I just don't think bringing back the old Democrat way is gonna fix it. I don't think
the game has changed.
Looking at black women and being like, y'all got this right. I don't think that's gonna do it. And so maybe it just takes some time to start seeing a future. But sadly, what I think is going to happen is day after day after day of being inundated with Trump doing wild shit, and the consequences coming home at some point.
Remind people, and they're going to be like, okay, you know, and I really do feel like I hope you get everything that you asked for and dreamed and wanted.
Yeah, the only problem is we in the car too.
Yes,
we're gonna
are.
be on the side of the road. I hope y'all don't get everything that y'all wanted, but you know, I hope I can survive y'all getting what y'all wanted.
Ain't that the truth, baby?
That's how I'm looking at it. And so anyway, I gotta go because if not, I'm not gonna make it to the gym on time, and I really do need to work out because I took yesterday off. All right, y'all, that's it. We'll be back. Hope you enjoyed this. I mean, y'all said y'all wanted it back. Now you got 2 hours of us being mad about Trump. All right, you happy? All right, we'll be back. Until next time, I love you.
I love you too.
Mwah. Bye, everybody. Have a good rest.